What's going on, everybody? Adam here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Kuat Sherpa on our 2018 Chevrolet Equinox. So this is going to need a 2-inch hitch receiver for you to be able to use this. We are going to have a 1.25" hitch option for this bike rack, so you can go ahead and pick whatever one is going to be best for you. And they do come in a decent amount of colors. So you have gray. You're also going to have black and pearl as well. So this is going to have 40 pounds per bike, no frame contact. It's going to be great for your carbon fiber bikes just because it doesn't have any frame contact. And that's always a plus, but it isn't going to be for your e-bikes or your fat tire bikes just because we only have 40 pounds per bike and the wheel cradles are only going to accept tire widths up to 3 inches. When it comes to the kiddos bikes, if you are riding with them, we are going to have a wheel diameter of 25 to 29 inches as it comes in the box. But for the smaller bikes, you can grab the adapter that we carry here, and that's going to allow wheel diameters from all the way from 20 to 25 inches. So it'll be able to haul all of your family's bikes, and that's always a plus. But one thing about this, it does have a tilting feature. I like that with any rack just because I don't want to limit my vehicle. So I have a little lever down here. You can tilt that down. And then we are going to have plenty of clearance to be able to grab whatever we need out of the back. So you don't have to take your bikes off the rack, especially if you're traveling. I try not to do that just because someone can run off with it. So that's always a plus. One thing to note, if you are maybe backed up over a curb, this gets relatively low down here with the hitch that we have. So just be mindful of that. If you are backing up over a curb, I would definitely recommend not tilting it away. But let's just hope that is not the situation. You can lift it back up, it snaps into place, and let's go ahead and just take the bike off the rack. I always start with the back right here. You just push this in, strap goes up, and both the front and the rear cradles don't slide at all, so we're only going to have a maximum wheelbase of 47 inches, but the nice thing about it is going to tilt, but I'll show you that in a second. So now that we can take the bike off the rack, you just press this here, put a hand on your bike to make sure it doesn't fall into the vehicle, and then you can remove the bike and get a closer look at the rack. So this is going to be good for tire widths up to 3 inches, like I said before, and it's going to have a little notch here for your road bikes, but also for your mountain bikes. It's a little bit thicker over here, and this is the pivot I was talking about, so that's going to help with the kiddos bikes. It's going to be a little like this. For the longer ones up to 47 inches, it can just tilt back like that. So one thing we need to do before we tilt this up, and I just want to give you some measurements of how far it's going to stick out from the bumper of your Equinox. From the bumper to the closest point, it's going to be about 29 inches. And at that point, we're going to have about 17 inches of ground clearance. So what we want to do is take the same exact lever that we used to tilt away to tilt it up. Just like that. And that's going to break our length down to about 12 inches. So that's not a whole lot. I really don't think you're going to have a whole lot of issues bottoming out unless you have an extremely steep driveway. Other than that, we do have a closest point. It's not going to get close to the bumper. It's about 2 inches, but it's completely solid. So it's not really going to rattle back and forth and make contact. So that's always a plus. And when it is up like this, you might see a little bit of the rack, but when you're backing up, I don't think you're going to have no visibility. So when the bikes are on, you're going to be able to see through your bikes. It's not going to be as good as, you know, not having a bike rack in the hitch of your Equinox, but it's still going to be visible, so you can still use it. You might hear a little bit of beeping, but that's okay. One thing I really like about this is it is going to lock the rack to your hitch. So the way that this happens is you can go ahead and loosen this up, and then you can pull this out, And we are going to carry a locking core for you guys if you want that. And that's always a plus, but it's also going to be able to lock, but it is going to act as an anti-rattle device as well. So as you tighten that up, it's nice and solid, and it moves exactly when the Equinox moves. So it's nice and solid in the shank. And that's always a plus, just because you won't hear it and your bikes won't feel it, and it will just be a lot more quieter going down the road. It is going to come with a cable lock, so you will be able to lock the rack to your hitch and also lock your bikes to the rack. That's basically it. I really like the rack. It's a good looking rack, so if you're not really looking for a really high capacity bike rack for your e-bikes or fat tire bikes, I would definitely recommend this. But if you are looking to get 4 bikes to and fro, the Kuat MV 2.0 is one that looks just like this, just a little bit different, and it still has some of those color options that I was talking about before. So figured out exactly what you want. Hopefully I kind of went over some of those things and made the choice a little bit easier. Again, this was the Kuat Sherpa on our 2017 Chevrolet Equinox.
This is our test course. Let's start with the slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then on to our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or uneven pavement. And last of all, the solid speed bumps. This shows up and down action, such as driving through a parking lot or parking garage, or driving in and out of a driveway.